Darius III, not Darius II. So they're complacent, just a succession of the throne. So maybe the first guy, he are a good guy and he needs some qualities to gain victory over other countries. But so the Nebuchadnezzar was a strong king, but then his son is weak. And then the Darius come take him over. That's the first Darius. So he was weak. He was the one with the cedar things. Yeah. So surely in this whole scenario, Israel is just insignificant, small. They're also just one of the little provinces. So Daniel still part of the Persian. Because first Nebuchadnezzar, then his son, and then part of Darius' government.
I see.
So, how can the Greek Alexander is 20 years old? What do you know when you're 20 years old? And his father was actually not even concerned about him. Now his father have a little thing, one or two victories he have, but very locally.
Okay.
So then the bodyguard killed his father, and then he became king. There is no other which could also become the king of Macedonia.
See.
So this thing that the people are very close to you are the people that actually kill the leaders.
Seems all the time.
Yeah. So it's always the second in command or somebody who is very close.
So you cannot have nobody close.
So except in two cases, or when you start losing or when you start winning. Both of these scenarios is that the people close to you, most trusted people, have done the most for the kingdom, turn against you. Now, you can now just understand, just to have a friendship of two is impossible. So how can the king even have one friend? They come always against each other, can stand there. There's only one guy that run everything. But now, if things get too successful, all things start. So for just Darius, things start getting bad now. Yeah, Alexander come. And surely they do conventional war, but he's a little bit ambitious. You go in front, you have one or two strategies.
Okay.
Provided the army, when you can get in the middle where Darius is, then Darius must run for his life. So, he won his first battle. Actually, Darius is still very powerful. Then he don't attack again. Then you go down to Egypt. Now, surely Egypt belonged to the Persian. But surely Egypt is Egypt, they are not Persians. So they welcome. There's no fight, no conquer, they just welcome him. Because they are an enemy of Persians, surely Egyptians also, we are also maybe don't like the Persians. So they welcome him, and surely he have won no one battle, so now people think, wow, he's now young, he won a battle. Against was also nearly 1 to 10. And he could have been killed. He was nearly killed. Just one of the generals have come to his rescue. Because he go in front of the... So you don't stand behind him. He just go in front. Most of the generals is young. His father have just died. They don't want to follow him. Who are he? Can stand there. So he has now to prove that he can fight. And surely, well, most of the generals are very experienced. And he's make too fast decisions. And he don't follow any conventional things. Now, surely he was now highly educated also. So Socrates was his teacher. So Socrates a philosopher. So he think about a lot of things. So he know also a lot of things. So here in Egypt, he don't attack Egypt. He make friends of Egypt. Understand that? Surely the Egyptians not happy and make him a pharaoh. So now he's a pharaoh also. So, but the Persians have lost now one of the wars. They thought, well, when does he come back and fight another battle? Then, after he's now a pharaoh for a year, you think, he have to go. There's a temple there in the desert in the middle of the Sahara. And there's a prominent priestess or what the Egyptians want, so he go there through the desert, but many other people have tried to go through the desert. There's maybe a river or whatsoever underground. And then there's now a nice grow there in the middle of the Sahara, the desert, call it an oasis. So he nearly was killed in a sandstorm. You see, big sandstorms there in the desert. So then the priestess confirmed that he's a good pharaoh and so on. So now we go. Now the people like him now. So sure, the priestess is now confirmed him. Now he's on his way back to fight Darius, and now his popularity have grown now. So he's
Now he come back.
so you have to understand. You can now be a good soldier, fight good. But if you have 100 people fight against you, you can maybe fight 10 people, but not 100. So, how can you become now a prominent king?
That's right. How does he fight?
How does he become a king? Everything has to do with perception. That people put you higher. But you're actually just a normal person. And other people have just mind just like you. So his generals, surely they become also not prominent because he become not prominent. But his purpose to go to Egypt are actually not to say how strong I am. tried to make a show. Now he become a pharaoh. And surely because the Egyptians think he will protect them. Now, the protection are more fundamental than the treasures. Now, Egypt has a lot of treasures. They have a lot of culture, big libraries. They have built pyramids. They have a 3,000-year culture. Surely they could have developed it because they have enough food. So the physical things was already solved. Now they can maybe a little bit think of other things. And not so much on technology. They think the sun is their god, all sorts of things they think. But they have not protected themselves. They have not a good army. Actually, in the past, they have a powerful army. But they have grown in their culture, not in their army. The same with the Chinese. They have grown in their culture, and then Manchurians just come. They have trained a little bit, a small country there in the north, and just take over China. So now the Ming dynasty was known the Manchurians. Now they was not so cultured like the Chinese, but the Chinese had maybe in the beginning a fight, but then they think, wow, their culture, their thrones, their palaces, their wisdom is more important. So it's at least some peace in the country. There's no fighting anymore. So there's no reason to build a big army because they have had peace with each other. They have a vast country. What do they want more? And so therefore, Genghis Khan, he can just come. You have built a little bit strong army, a strong little gang or regiment, and overstepped the Great Wall, and then just take over China. So this is the problem. You have to strengthen your defense also. But the war are not just fight physically. The war are fight on many fronts. So surely all Alexander wanted to do is say, well, first he won a battle. But surely Darius still have a big army still behind him. But now he play a different role. First he take one of the provinces, Egypt, from them. Second, he become now a pharaoh and important. He have catch the queen, and his daughter is also a problem. Can you stand there? This was promised to one of his generals. But later in negotiation, Darius said, no, Alexander can get his daughter. But now when the general heard it, he's upset because the daughter was promised to him. So now the general of Darius become disloyal. So there is a fight, totally different fight. You have to fight. So it's a perception fight. It's not a physical fight, a reality fight. It's a perception what people have. So now, because Alexander became a pharaoh, the Egyptians think, wow, the pharaoh was like supreme being for them. He's now supreme being, and even the priestess have confirmed it. So whatsoever that means. So he built a city there for himself, call it Alexandria, which was now a big city, very strategic place. But it has nothing to do with his war with Persian. So then he go now back, he have to fight Darius again, Kingston. And surely this time, Darius now after 2 years, he have prepared a little bit more clear. They have not underestimated, because Macedonia is just a small, very small province. And so surely the one of the basic problems is so surely the general fight now, but when the fight get a little bit heavy, he ran away from Darius. So surely he controlled a third of the army. Now surely the one thing which Hitler have not recognized, he want to protect England. He have not know England are going to kill him. So if he first he go into France, but the whole army of England, which is not so much, there's at least 400,000 people, even today 400,000 is a lot of soldiers. I think the American army is not even 500,000. So 400,000 is a lot of soldiers. So he invade France, and then you have all the English soldiers there. He can just put them in prison, the whole army. Then he give them a day that they can go over the Channel. Why have we done this? Because of that he lost the war. Now, he don't invade, he can invade England very easily, because he have airplanes that throw down, but he just want them to say they must become just allied. It's just a perception he have of England. It's just a great Britain. It's just a perception. Now, surely the British still have the perception they are Great Britain. But the economy is very weak. They have not much power anymore. But they was his Achilles heel. They have killed Hitler because he was too lenient to them. They have deceived him. Now they go to America. Now, at that time, Hitler already faced off now against Russia. But now he have to fight America also. It's not too big. Maybe if America have not come in the war, America don't want to come in the war. They are in a far distant continent there. Nothing to do with them. They struggle their own thing there.
I hear when Japan bombed America, Hitler was very happy.
So, but England was the problem. He have make a deal with England. And the deal was not made politicians, it's the money makers that make the deal. So they go to England and say, well, you have Israel, if you give Israel, we'll give you money. Surely the money makers in America must also convince Roosevelt. The people don't want, so now they have to bring some crisis. No, Germany don't attack America. So they have to bring some crisis, and they let the Japanese with their little planes. The Americans are much bigger planes. And they say to the generals, they attack them, don't attack. So here in the morning they attack them, the generals still sleep. Where's the guards? They have big carriers and cannons and so on. They can shoot these little planes off just like nothing.
Yeah.
But they do nothing, they still sleep. They already bombed the ships and there's no one that actually shoot back. Where's the soldiers on guard? Where's the alarms? When they come far, they have to wake up everything and then they are to be ready. Are they not trained day and night to be ready? But it was orchestra to bring a crisis. Now, when there's a crisis, everyone is an enemy. Here, Afghanistan bring the 9/11. Now, everyone are in a crisis. Now they attack Iraq. What have Iraq to do with Afghanistan? Yes, the most strange things happened. How easy can you move a nation? Surely it is orchestrated by the money makers, can you stand? They have to kill a lot of Americans, but not too much. Now there's a crisis. So about 2,000 to 1,500 people have died in Hawaii with the Japan. Now 200 million people must go to war. They die much more people on the roads, on cancer, on whatsoever. This is just even with the 9/11.
Yeah.
It's just 3,000 people. Not so. There was not a single Jew in there. Don't you know the trade centers there is full of Jews, half is Jews. By that day was there not a single Jew.
That's right.
So anyone may ask no question. We cannot ask these questions in the prayers because they have a narrative. Just that any logical say, why have the Jews decided not to go to them? So the Americans have no very clear about the attack. All the top people know about the
There's
attack.
some things.
And surely there's many videos on YouTube. The attack happened, Jews, all these little things are. They happened, they are so happy. But not a single Jew have come to work today. How do they know? It means they are connected with each other. They are make as if they are part of the system, but they are not. They are a specific group. To go through all the names that have died. So you have to know there's a clear orchestra. They are a group. They are clearly connected. Don't say they are just an isolated guy who grew up there. How they are connected? We don't know. They have like a different group, a different government, a different organization, a different inclusion there. They have a lot of meetings and associations with each other, which you don't know about. You cannot say, why not a single? And this is a trade center, international trade center. This is where they are. This is their offices. This is their business. This is what they normally do, this group. So, just because the news don't talk about it, it's not that it have not happened, and you cannot just think. Just think what have happened there. Surely, if you say it, you say, "Wow, it's imagine a theory you have. This is not true." uh, all right, so now they have a reason. And the reason is now we have to go to war. We was attacked now in America for the first time. We have to go to war. So they have to kill a little bit, otherwise it's not serious. And how pathetic is the army, American army? They have so many jets. The airplane fall close to the Pentagon. One of the wings of the was damaged. The plane that nearly explode on the Pentagon. Now, this is the headquarters.
Yeah, they are too slow when they really come in a crisis.
So not too slow. They could have react, but they have instruction not to act.
Yes, they do have instruction.
So it's the same with the Pearl Harbor idea. They have no clearly, because it take long for the Japanese to fly so far over the Pacific Ocean. And surely there's many ships the Americans have. They know the Japanese
they
are
have
what?
received the signal.
They have all the, and then there was instructions not to fight. So the general wake up here 9 o'clock and already for 2 hours the airplanes. What happened? Where's the communication? They have clear communication. So all these things have a lot of questioning, but these questions are never addressed. Can't stand there. This is just what happens, just like the market fall. It just happened, but somebody is responsible. A big, massive market don't just fall.
For half.
Millions of people don't wake up one morning and sell all their stock.
Sure.
People won't change so simple.
From 289 to 189.
So somebody single-handedly has influenced this then.
There's one woman said, my husband loved me very much. He had given me a promise. He said, what's the promise? He said, the day which my money come back in stock is the day I will divorce you. I said, what? She said, yeah, his money will never come back. Oh, I feel so sorry.
Will never come back. You have just to realize they are going to destroy you. This is their strategy. And they have more powers in their hand than you. And the first fight is physical. Second fight is logical. So I tell you, say, he put me in a place logical I cannot get out. There's no way out. So you can bind somebody just by pure logical setups. So don't think the logic is also not only your will, we call it strategies. So the strategy have a strategy. So look, I have a big army. You have a clear will. They are going to destroy you. Now for some reason you use the mountains and rocks or whatsoever, and you have a different perception and you fall in the trap. Now, if he's in a trap, even with all his power, he cannot get out. He was logically deceived. You have underestimated something or whatsoever. Just by logic, the physical things cannot move left and right. I cannot move my pieces now. He have logically put me in a place. There's no way out. I am trapped. I cannot go. Surely I can think of many ways. There's no way out, according to this scenario. So don't think just the logic. The weapon is a big weapon. So here the strategy guy is a strange guy, weird guy. He's not disciplined. Surely the emperor said, write down your strategy. Write down. He said, I have no things to write down. So he have to think a little bit different to bring an answer. The king cannot come. He's too disciplined. He have to organize too much. Now somebody work a trap out, just like the chess. You have played something, figured out some traps. Now we set the trap. Now somebody has spent maybe hours to set up the trap and think it out. Now I have only here 10 minutes. I cannot go through all the scenarios. I just say, all right, it looked a good. I have not spent a lot of time thinking of the whole scenario, what can happen. So then you catch. So sure, he starts thinking. The other guy recruit, pay money for soldiers and train them, but it's just very simple things. You're going to train them in too complex things. They must just listen to you. This is all they will have to do and try to fight. But the guys sit there. He think of much more things than the general they think of, and then he catch him. With a trap, with a strategy, with thinking. You have lead him in a trap. Can you understand that? And now the guy are stuck. He lose his people, he lose the war, he lose his power, he lose his cities, he lose just because one guy think he was not so disciplined. He say, all right, let me think of the weather, of the wind, of the mountains, of the terrain, of how. Just let me think and see if I can set a trap.
Sometimes in the middle of the game, it can be a hard battle. Continue.
Yeah.
But this guy, he moved a piece. Then the computer said, well, you can do that, but this is not the smartest.
Yeah.
You have one, then you can win.
Yeah.
Then he had to think there is a one.
Yeah, you have to think of more scenarios.
Then he said, shoot this piece. Both of us are, whoa! Because I also understand what Peter said. Yeah.
So you have to learn some principles. You have to say, all right, let me go through the scenarios. You have to, it's like this Go guy, the second time, he lose the first time, second time take twice as long before he make his, he do calculations. He calculate this out, and then he calculate that, and then he calculate this, and then he calculate that. And then he measure it up, and then he say, oh, this might be the best scenario. But the calculation is, but in the calculation you need a strategy also. You have to trap the, so there's, you can actually go through. You just don't have to move anything. You can look at the scenario and say, if I do that, then you can do that, all right? Then do that and then do that. This has not more, this more meaning. So you have to go through all the scenarios in your head to find this stuff. So you need calculation, you need the hunch also, you have to see something. So a lot of things play in place. So you need some discipline. If you're gonna just do something and then see something happen and see if you can get out, you need a strategy, you need protection. There's a lot of principles you have to learn, and you have to go through all your prominent principles. Say, all right, let me do an attack. Go for our scenario. Say, all right, let me do a defense. Must I first do an attack or defense? I have to go through thousands of different of calculations till I get to the end point. Now, surely the computer is very good with that. So now, even with a simple program, because the program can run, say, 100 scenarios, and then there's a type of scoring you give. Then at the end there's a final score, but you have to go through, because you have a new scenario now. Now you have to go through all the scenarios, and then you have a point. But you have now about 100 cores, each one independent. Say, all right, let me use this piece as the prime, let me use that piece, let me just... Some pieces just easily say the score is too low. But then some of the pieces go a little bit further, higher score. Now, then you just choose the higher probability. And in that point you move. Understand? Then the other guy moves, but then you start over again because now it's a totally new scenario. Now you have also to go through 100 because you don't know in the beginning. They cannot calculate. They have to go through calculation scenarios.
So that's where all the computer bots come from, right?
No, the bot is now something for social media. It's a little program that says something.
I say they call it computer chessbot.
Oh, I don't know.
So
They've engines which do exactly this.
I see.
So, and the computer lent him very easy to it. What I can do, so I sit here on my screen. I have a couple of computers open. Each computer can do a lot of calculation. Now I give 10 problems. I give to the one problem, and the other problem, and the other problem. So to distribute the problems is very easy. It's very fast. Now it takes a minute for each one to process and come back with a score. But now I let actually 10 computers bring me a final result, and then I can see the result. This is the most likely, the best move. Then I choose that.
Okay.
Now you can maybe go through one calculation. You cannot go through two calculations. Then you have to go through another calculation. Then you go through another calculation, through another calculation. So you can discipline yourself in training you in certain calculations. And surely later you have to consciously, now you do it maybe a little bit, you do things, but it's a little bit unconscious. But later you have to say, I have to go through, or this path, I must to calculate this. I must add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 10 plus 11 plus this, whatsoever. And then you have to remember. So your remembering must go. Then I go through another calculation. Surely later the senior guys go through multiple calculations. They train themselves. So, all right, this is the piece. All right, go through this, go through this, go through that, go through further. Some is very short. Then you say, all right, go through this. So you cannot just say, what am I going to play?
Yeah.
You have to have calculations the same as the Chinese play card. They calculate.
Yeah.
They remember and calculate. Can you stand there? I play card with them. I don't calculate. They win me all the time. I don't even know what is calculation. I don't know. They remember all the cards which the people have, and then they can say what's the possibility. So a lot of things, they just sit there, but they are busy with adding and subtracting and whatsoever. So I just sit there and make a random choice. I'm going to lose. They know already what I have in my hand, so on that they can make a decision. Can they do this and this? So surely this is all sorts of trainings in the chess, you have to eventually go. So you have to discipline yourself. So you have to find some principles on which you do calculations. Then you have to figure more principles that do faster calculations. So all sorts of things. Now, if you have gone through many problems and you already remember, you know, if this is a scenario, you know you can do this, you already know exactly what you are going to do. Can you stand there? So now you have already solved a problem if there's that scenario. So now if you remember just to go and interview for Google, you remember a lot of problems. If you problem, then you just, from your memory, you just call it up. It's like your friend, you say, oh, I see this problem somewhere, let me copy it faster for you. It's not that you are going to write, it's too complex to write, you have not enough time. You just copy, even just to copy and correct, and there's not a bug in it, so we have to write it down fastly. And Python, and I'm not so used to Python, so we make little errors on Python.
Since we have ChatGPT and need now, this none is different anymore.
All right, so ChatGPT can remember very well.
You see, he give the answer. He call up.
The problem is if you have not given him a lot of data, he's bad.
That's why they said train the module.
All right, but now the problem is the training data is not accurate. So now they want to train them in mathematics. But he cannot figure out like you, understand something and then apply it.
Yeah.
But if he have done 1,000 problems, the problem you give is maybe related to one of the 1,000 problems.
Yeah.
And if you want him to score more, then you train him on 1,000,000 similar problems. So surely if you give a problem, it's more likely that you are going to give the right answer because you have already worked it out. You have already, in his a sort of way, he can easily come up with something. It's just like a type of a database. So, but now there is not enough professors that have put their video and their books out about mathematics because it's a very small group of people that do mathematics. So Google say what we have to do, we have to program that it generate a lot of problems and solutions. So we go through all the triangle problems and we give him thousands, but we ourselves randomly make a problem and solve it out. Then the AI can learn it. Then he score better in the mathematics.
It's just a learning model.
So he just, because he has a lot of data,
Information.
he can bring somewhere the type of data. But he cannot take a principle and then according to the principle work your mathematical problem out. He have to, this is how the Indians get, and they have to memorize. They don't work it out themselves.
Chinese also.
They memorize. And there's only so many scenarios you can have.
I said to my mother, I said, what about this book? I'm not learned. I was like, secretly, you said, no, I'm never learned. ChatGPT talking the same. No, don't know, I'm not learned.
So now to think of things, that this is a totally different thing instead. To solve things. So surely I have a lot of problems here which I have to solve.
All the new problems.
It's not even new, it's just the old problems, but it's just new phases. So now and then you look at the same problem now, but surely you want to make it easier and easier to to interface with the problem. All right, but what I now say, your fight is not just physically, it is also logically. Now the problem is you think everything is silver and gold. But here Peter says we are not reading. buy silver and gold. And surely you can say, no, Alexander, what are going to redeem him? So as a massive army. They have conquered Balmer, they have conquered the world, the Western world. Even they are at the borders of India. And now here, young guy, he's 20 years old, he start, he are a little bit wild. He himself attacks. So Darius sit there in the middle, he just organized the things. And when Alexander came too close, he ran away. So the last battle, Darius ran again away. He just followed the strategy initially of done into so work again. So he ran again. So now he take over Babylon. Now Babylon is one of his the generals which have now deflected from Darius. So now we have Babylon, this is the treasure. Because you have now Egypt, now we have Babylon. So Darius must go more in the east towards India. So he decided, surely his army is not after him, but surely Alexander still decided he have to chase after Darius. Even he have no, like 90% of the rule of the whole Persian rule. But then one of his generals killed Darius. They stand there a little bit on the mountain, he think, wow, we have to escape. The general get afraid and he say, well, it's because of him. So he killed him. Okay, so now it was not Alexander that killed him. It was one of his generals. So should he catch the general also and kill the general? So surely after, so it's only perceptions. These people are normal people. It's just perceptions people have of a person. It's not here are physical and many times not even talented. It's just a perception. So he's now a pharaoh. He's now the head of Babylon, the head of so everything. Wow, he's just a 20-year-old guy. He's not what he's now have taken. He's now 26 or whatsoever. You have now a little bit insight which Socrates have given him. He's a little bit good with the politics. He's not too hard in the politics, so he make more peace with the people. But surely all you say, the defenses of the Persians was probably not so good. They have no big number.
Yeah.
But there was not big thinking on the side of Darius. The same way he have won the first battle, he won the second battle, Christian. Why have he not reinforced this? Because what he do, he run away, then the one flank run after him, then they open a gap, and then through that gap you get to the middle where Darius is. And if you get the middle, the whole army run away. So, yeah, simple strategy, but you, but there's a lot of people you have to deal with here.
Yes.
All right. So all I actually say, this is the presentation of something else. Mm-hmm. You can catch the guy. Now, surely he let one of the generals deflect, go to his side, just because of the daughter of Darius. So this is a hard thing. Now, surely the Darius' wife died also now there in Egypt. Now surely now he's very upset because his wife have died. The wife was a very strong queen. She was royal, he was actually not royal. Mm-hmm. And she was also outspoken and so on. Mm-hmm. So So this is now more something of the heart too. So there's many levels you can fight to conquer. And you have to work all these angles. So you have to find what is very important for a person. Maybe not important for you, his wife, or his princess, or queen, or whatsoever, but it's for him. Very important. And the Persians bring their women together. The woman is much more outspoken in Persian than in Greek. There's no woman in the Greek army, can you stand it? Now, when Darius ran away, he have also his princess and his daughter and all the women that generals bring to. Now, surely now, the generals feel they want their woman back. And it don't mean anything for him, but it's a card in his hand. Where he attack him. So surely don't think you must just go physically after him. You have to go logically after him. You have to go try to catch what is important for him, damage that. That he get all too angry, all too afraid. So it seems in the beginning he's very afraid. He might try to make deals with Alexander. He want to make bribe him. So I will give you half of my kingdom, and I will give you so much gold. But Alexander, surely this is already enough. Nobody have expect Alexander. He's still too young. He have no experience to achieve so much. But he don't take the bribes. Surely Darius try first the bribes. He have a lot of money. He have a lot of treasures. Eventually say, all my treasures of Persian means now nothing. He don't budge of my treasures. Only you can buy somebody very easy. Give him a title, give him a castle, and give him some money. It's good enough. Then he will follow you. Now surely Persian is very rich. So he have a lot of riches. He even offered his daughter. Now sure this is the jewel in his... he offered him Babylon, the city of Babylon. He offered him half of his... But Alexander don't want to take it. But you know, he still have an army 10 times bigger than Alexander's 10. This is difficult. You don't win them. So the only way how he can win, he have to catch Darius. Darius must run away. This is the problem with a centralized system. If you can, it's no nice to have a centralized system, but if you then destroy the central force, you destroy the whole, you destroy everything. But if you have a decentralized force, you're going to destroy, there's nobody to destroy. So in the past with the kings, it's very difficult to destroy, you just kill the king.
Sure.
Then you take everything open. Now surely in a democracy it's not so easy, you can kill the king, but they just appoint another one. And the people appoint, it's not, the king have not a son, well, or have not somebody that come up or whatsoever. The people must appoint the people as like a person. So even you kill the king, it don't matter. There's another guy that come up. Now surely you have your 4 years limitation. Now if the president are killed, then the vice president. If the vice president killed, then the head of the house become president. If he are killed, so all three are killed, then they have somebody else also, the secretary or something like that. So they have 4 things which become actually very complex before the people can vote. So you have always somebody in the leadership. So they have just make it very easy if the king are killed, and somebody cannot kill the king and then take his place.
No.
Because the people must now vote again from themselves. They won't vote for somebody else to take over the thing. So So the democracy solved some of this centralized problems, but surely they all the time want to centralize again. So it's nice to centralize because then the guy at the top has more power. All right, so all I say here, Alexander come into Egypt. They have a lot of treasures, but they have no army. They cannot protect themselves. So now Alexander become more important because he can protect Egypt. He has proven he can fight the Persians. Surely now the Egyptians say, we have treasures, we will make you now a pharaoh. You have just to protect. So we will give you all the treasures. Then we will live better and we are protected because we cannot protect us against the Persian people. So you have therefore to say the security is more fundamental than the treasures. The moment you can provide security, you provide more value than the treasure. Now, surely we build treasures, but a sword can be used to defend you, or the sword can be used to kill you. So they say it's a two-edged sword. So the one, you can kill your enemy, when somebody get the sword in the hand, he can kill you. So it's two-edged, so that if we have technology, it can be used for good and it can be used for evil. Now, this is just a breakthrough to do a face recognition, but now it are used for evil to control people. Now this we call it surveillance. Now they have a surveillance on all the people. All right, so if you have not secure your setup, you have still nothing. Even you have work hard. So here's the farmer. He work hard. He get his harvest in. He have a wife. He have many children. He get rich. Here, a gang just come and kill them and take everything. So no. So you have to say, surely to get your treasure is hard work. But if you cannot protect it, everything you have means nothing. So the protection of your treasures are more fundamental. You have first to start, how do I protect my farm? You have to work just as hard as get the treasures of the farm. Now, because there's nobody that invade your farm, you think you can just work on your treasures.
Yeah.
You gather your treasures, but you need protection. So therefore the governments they say we do protection. So Egypt are prepared to pay a lot to Alexander because he can protect them.
We're going to call it protection fees.
So now, if you are in danger, then the protection become important. If you are not in danger, you think nothing of the protection.
True. You are in danger, yeah.
So David say, I'm here, I have a couple of soldiers, I protect this big farm. Then the rich guy say, who are you, David? You are a young guy, you're 20s, and now you say, I have to give you food. So David say, oh, don't you understand, you are not protected. We have protected you, there's a lot of gangs here. They don't come near your farm so you can get prosperous. You have done now we are now hungry, we need some food for me and my people. And now you don't even recognize it. Surely his wife are very clear. So they have a lot of food, they bring the donkey, bring to David, and she say to David, we know you are going to be a king, don't do something weird now, it will count against you. Here's food for your thing. So we don't know if the wife go and kill him, or the next day he sleep and he die in his sleep, or drink too much. The Bible says, but we don't know what have happened, or why we drink just then too much. So there's a problem there.
And after that, immediately she married him. This was
So maybe she have given too much wine, she has, and some poison in the wine or whatsoever. You don't die so easy from drink too much.
First time I question.
You have just to say what's most likely. You cannot just believe. You see, people just say. The Japanese attack us, and you see they've killed so much, they are so bad. You say, but why have you not defended yourself?
Good question.
You have such big ships. This is warships. This is not casual tourist ship. This is warships. They are trained, all that soldiers, to react in a second. How is that the people sleep? So it's unlikely. Or you can say the America is so pathetic. The little planes come and sink 2 of their carriers, and then 2,000 soldiers die because they're on the ship. How can a big ship be near the land? How can they sink it? The people can just jump off the ship and swim to the land. They are young guys, they are trained. How can they just come and... Something is wrong. Something is not right. So you have to don't just listen to say, yeah, so the 9/11 is also, there's a problem there. And the whole setup, there's a problem. The only plane that have not, so they have 2 planes to the Pentecost. But in the one plane, the Americans have said, well, Annika is going to die. Let us attack. There's only 3 or 5 people that caped the town. You will die now in the process, but the other guy are going to get the heat. So they bring the plane down. So the plane crashed now, somewhere in the middle. So you have not get to his destination just because the people have say, some American guys have say, they phone their wife or children and say, oh, goodbye. In any case, they have realized we are going down. Why don't we just resist? This is a very clear thing. So, if you're going to die, don't stand there, just attack a little bit. Maybe you will die, but the other guy will also get damaged.
True.
And surely some, I don't know, maybe some soldiers was there, or some Americans that say, phew. They're not that the Middle East, and they know they go to the Pentagon, and they know they are going to die in the plane. Surely all the other planes that people have died when they hit the Twin Towers. They have died, everything exploded there.
It's the only plane that resists.
And then they say, how can the plane bring the building down? It cannot. They have other explosive. When the thing hits, that explodes. They have put explosive there and put that on. That's why it was the plane. That bring them down. So you can just say, you hit in the top. Well, why would the building go down?
The terrorists just can set up that is very easy also.
No, they've already crashed in. They are now already dead. They can stand there.
You can set up beforehand.
All right, somebody else must, but then somebody need access to the building or whatsoever. So what security is that? How can the building fall? This is unbelievable.
Building full house.
So this is a whole strategy they can stand there. Why did somebody just say what have happened? But people just say, oh, this happened is so bad, and this is how far they can think. Surely the investigators, they are all the time asking questions and know what's the likelihood. Why have nothing of that information come out?
Truth are hidden.
So hold the truth and the people just eat it up. They just eat everything up. If somebody say, this is what it is, then everyone they must say, what's the likelihood?
Solomon said, a fool believe everything he
Yeah,
hears.
you just believe everything's, the people's just a fool. Then they have to say, it is for sure the election was not stolen. It's just like you say, here's no money under the ground. You don't have to say it. The election was not stolen. The election was not stolen. And then somebody say maybe something have gone wrong. They say it was proven the election was not stolen. Even he say that. Why must you say that the election was not stolen? Here's no money. Don't dig here. This is what I say. Here's no stealing. Don't ask a question if there was something stolen. There's no money. Don't try to dig here. Believe me, there's no money here under the tree. Don't start digging here. You say, no, well, I want to dig a little bit, see if there is really not money. You say, don't dig. If you start digging, you are a criminal.